Hi, everyone. Welcome. This is your girl, Lucy, and it's Family Unbox. Life is such a beautiful space where different things happen to us, and it happened to some people very quickly, and to some others a little bit not too quickly. And sometimes it leaves us confused. What have I done wrong? What am I doing, or what am I supposed to do? And sometimes all we need to do is take a pause and just allow life happen. And other times we need to apply ourselves to different things. I have a guest who is going to come with me on the program. He is an amazing person, a friend of mine for many years, and he has a beautiful story that will inspire us and encourage us to be who we need to be. Hey, Andrew, how are you?
Hey Lucy, how are you?
I'm very well. It's been a long time.
Yes, a very long time. It's
Hmm.
good to have you. Good to see your face.
It Same here, like three decades, about
Yeah,
thereabouts. Oh
yes,
my
yes, yes.
goodness. Oh my
Decades.
goodness. Oh my goodness. This is my body way back in high school. It's such an amazing privilege. Thank you so much for making out time out of your very busy schedule to be here. I am so excited, and I believe that your story, the uniqueness of the story, is going to inspire us. Talk to us, tell us about yourself. Who is Andrew David? What are you about, and what do you do?
Well, first, I'm honored to be here. It's
Thank you.
Thank you for the privilege
Thank you.
given to me
Yeah.
to come share my story. Yeah, at the family on board with Lucy.
Thank you.
Um, when I saw the invite, I was like, wow, it's a great privilege to come around and share my story. Well, you said a
Yeah.
bit, just to add a bit too.
Yeah.
Um, Andrew David is the name.
Mhm.
We've been together way back, like
Way, way back. Way, way back.
3 decades, and
Yeah.
over the years, I think we met when we were
In
when we were boys or when we were young.
I knew we started in high school. I knew that was
Yeah,
we didn't do elementary together. We started in high
yeah,
school, and you're such an amazing. You were the head boy. Were you?
yeah.
Yeah, he was. You know those bookworm guys,
Yes,
those
I
well
was
put
head
together
boy then.
guys.
That time we were book, science
And you
and the
guys were
rest.
book. I was a little bit here and there, a little bit of book. No, I tried a
Mm.
bit though. But I was always attending social functions, literary and debates, this and that. And you used to come with Siju for some of my
Yeah,
events those days. Talk, 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 girl.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes. You have always been the top type, so I'm not surprised. Literally,
Andrew.
debate, social
Andrew.
activities.
I want some good
Yeah,
things for the school. I want some good
yeah,
price for the
yeah.
school.
Of course, now your talk won us a lot of things. Now we're there, so
Yeah.
but it's good anyway.
do you do you know something? When I got
Yeah,
into senior high, I wanted to be in the medical world. I really wanted to be a surgeon. So I felt I had the brain and everything. And I went to sciences. My first term, my my junior high teacher called me out and said, Lucy, this is not the path for you. There is nothing science about you. You are everywhere doing your thing. If you go this route, it's going to lock you up. Go to the arts where you'll find expression and you blossom. And honestly, way back then, the voice of the teachers were very strong. She just did a communicate to my parents. For my parents, it was more like, oh, she has the brain, she can do it. I was like, hey, I want to be a medical doctor. I mean, Dr. Lucy. It would have been nice on me. She said,
yeah.
she told me no, and she said, look at your grades, you're doing good. So it's not about you not doing good, but it's about your person. I wonder the kind of doctor I would have been. I would have ran away from the hospital. Like even now, I don't want to do anything. I don't want to think in that direction. So I'm glad she helps me out.
Yeah, but it's the truth. Sometimes it's not really about what we study, or sometimes maybe what our parents make us to study. It's about what we actually have passion for,
Hmm.
what
Hmm.
excites you on the inside, what you're
I
doing and you're
agree.
excited. to it. Of course, I
Yeah.
went through the university. I read industrial chemistry, but today I'm not near anything chemistry. I'm not near anything chemical. I'm a
Mm.
transporter. I'm a businessman.
You're
You know,
into
so
logistics.
yeah,
I
that's the
get
whole.
it.
So
Yeah.
it's life is interesting. Life is so interesting. You
Yeah, talking
know,
about life is interesting. I love this dynamics now. Life is interesting. What part of I still see myself living some of my younger dreams, my teenage dreams, the dreams I had as a child. I still see myself living it. And most times when people meet me and say, Lucy, I'm lost. I don't know how to find myself. I say, can you find a space, be by yourself and travel back? Whatever number of years you have to travel back, go back to when you were innocent, your mind was free, and you had dreams. What were those dreams? Andrew, what are those dreams way back that you have found expression to and that you think are still relevant to your present time and you want to find expression to the ones that you haven't?
you see, one of those dreams I had way back that give expression to my future is something that I'll put in a simple term, humorously. I never wanted to do something that will make me look too serious, too corporate. You
Hmm.
understand? I never
Hmm.
wanted to do something that will tie me, wear tie and suits,
Okay.
sit down,
Hmm.
and it's something that I never imagined myself to do. You get, and
Hmm.
it's something that I I never. It's just something I never wanted to do because
Wow.
I can't imagine myself wearing tie and suit, sitting down. No, I want to be actively involved in something that excites me, something I
Yeah.
have a passion for, something that when you wake me up at any time, I would
You're
be
jumping at it.
able to do it. I work, yes, I work as late as 1 a.m., 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m. Uh, I'm awake doing my
Wow.
thing. You understand? And it gives me joy,
Hmm.
to do it. It's something that you know that followed me from way back because they will say in Yoruba terms, "Efiko." Well, way back in school, we read at night.
Yeah, but
We think,
again,
yeah,
honestly, I'm surprised to hear this because you have a serious personality. Yeah, you and I we joke. I mean, I know that in relationships there are levels where you lose your boundaries because you're with like your hood. But
yeah.
looking at you, you look very straight and serious. I would have thought you want to go that all put together formal path. I'm surprised. How does that balance? I thought you could look at someone. I think for me, it was easy to say, oh, this girl, she's, when they come and they want to give a talk, just call Lucy, she's fine. They want to do this. It almost was like my personality. And that's why the teacher said, hey, girl, no, this is not for you. How does that translate with you when it's the reverse you wanted?
You see, I would like to use simple words and simple terms to describe it. You understand? Your personality is one thing, your passion is another thing. You
Mm,
understand?
mm.
Personality looks quiet, then
Yeah.
the passion might look noisy. You
Ooh.
understand?
Ooh.
Yeah. Personality might look
That
very
is
quiet,
you.
but the passion looks noisy because for you to be in logistics, your
Mm.
passion must be very noisy.
Yeah.
It must drive you hard, 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 hard for you to get to where you want to
Get
be.
to.
And
Hmm.
so there are two different things, your personality and your passion. So your personality might be quiet, but your passion might be very noisy. You
Wow.
understand? To do what you actually want to do. So let me put it
This
that way.
this is depth. Like it's. I never saw it like this. It strikes me, or it resonates with the fact that some people say, with this explanation, some people will say we are bi personality. Because for me, a lot of people see me and they think I am. because I do the talking. I am in an event. I compare. I make things happen. They think I'm a loud person, but I enjoy my privacy. I
Yeah.
am the type who can be home for a week and not, honestly, for a month and not really go out. And it won't bother me. But when I do go out for a purpose, I set the purpose on fire and I'm back. So it's too reverse. If they see you and I, they would think the passion would have been the other way. But
Yeah.
now you're telling me
Yeah.
it's this. So how do parents, because now, how do family members balance this? Because if I was your mom, you won't do logistics, sir, because it doesn't speak to the fact that that is who you are. I would want to make you do banking and finance or something. Do you want to adjust your camera a bit? I think it's too close.
Okay.
I think I'm saying
Okay.
something too close. Yeah.
Are you
So
okay?
I think so. I think so. But yeah, I would have thought maybe banking and finance you be all put together. So how do parents, where do parents come in helping their children? I thank God I had parents who would allow me fly whatever I want to do. Look, just do, in as much as you're doing the right thing, do it. Is that what parents should begin to allow their children do these days? Because from what you are saying, it can be interwoven.
Yes, I think at a stage in parenting, you need to actually understand your kids, or should I use the word your children,
Oh, yeah.
at a particular stage of their life. Growing up, we were privileged to have parents who loved education,
Yeah.
guided us through our education, but
Yeah.
gave us freedom to take our decision in the
Yeah.
sense, where do you have your strengths? Where do you have your weaknesses? What do you feel you will be able to do? Where is your passion? What do you
Mm-hmm.
think you'll be able to do?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Getting into the university. And
Mm-hmm.
that was like a guide
It
for all of
was. Yeah, it
us.
was. It
You
was.
understand? And during that time, way back, let me say our time, it was more of having a university degree, should in case you missed it from there, coming out and say, okay, what is my passion like? You get
Mm.
what
Mm.
is my passion like? Like you were saying, you said you wanted to be a medical doctor. I also wanted to be a medical doctor at a point, but I
Wow.
can't withstand blood.
Okay.
That was what drove me out of medicine.
Okay.
Once
Okay.
I see blood, I take off. So it was like, if you want to be a medical doctor, you must be able to handle blood. Are you getting what
Yeah.
I'm saying? Now,
Mm-hmm.
at
Of
a
course.
point, I said, okay, I have a passion for logistics. Let me do marine engineering. Are you
Mm.
getting me?
Yeah.
They denied me admission for marine. I
PH?
said,
Port Harcourt? Or where?
exactly. River State University of Science and Technology, right?
Yeah.
Denied me. Then
Yeah.
School of Marine in Ikoyi VI, oceanography,
Yeah.
they denied. I said,
Oh
okay,
my.
what next?
Hmm.
And I decided, okay, let me do industrial chemistry. And
Hmm.
after which we will move on. Interestingly, you see, when God is in your affairs, let me just break it down. When God is in your affairs,
Mm-hmm.
He will make everything to fall in place.
Hmm.
When I
Agree.
graduated, let me digress a little. When I graduated and after service, we were looking for a job.
Hmm.
I was paying one of my uncles to his site, just to help him out on his site. He's the
Yeah. Doing
contractor.
nothing at home. Yeah.
Yes, I'll just follow him up and say, Uncle, let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And one day he called me up and said, Andrew, I'm going for a contract. They said Lagos State government is coming up with something. And one of their boss called me to come. Let's go together. What are you doing? I said, I'm free. That was how I followed him. Watch. When we got there and they got talking, The man was like, what does Lagos State want to do? And the man was like, they want to change the face of transportation in Lagos. So they want to build terminals, they want to build stations, they want to build depots. And while they were discussing, the man said, we are even recruiting at the moment. I stepped on my uncle's toe to remind him that come at the
I'm
fine work.
here. I'm here.
And immediately he decoded. He told him, he said, my brother is looking for a job.
Ooh.
But, well, that's not a problem. Tell him to send in his CV. We'll get him, something to do. And Lucy, sincerely, I got in. I dropped my CV a month after, did the interview, passed the interview, and that
Ooh.
was how it all started. Now, listen, this is the interesting part. When we started, I was like, what am I going to be doing here? Is it to be chasing bosses or something? I don't understand. And so I began to talk with my boss. I said, sir, what are we going to be doing here? And
Hmm.
he laughed. And he said, Andrew, there is more to this that beats the eyes.
Hmm.
When
Hmm.
he saw that I was so inquisitive, one day he called me and said, Andrew, you are interested in this job. I can see you have a passion for this job. Don't worry, I will teach you.
Whoa.
And that was, took me up, began to mentor me, began to
Whoa.
guide me. And that
Hmm.
was how my journey in logistics started
Started.
till date.
So
You
even though
understand?
you couldn't learn, even though you couldn't learn marine transportation, logistics in the formal
Yeah,
education, you learned it in
yeah,
the journey of life. What a beautiful
yeah,
experience. Now, it is
exactly.
beautiful to know that it was easy for you to land a job and move on. If we flip the story to somebody else's, they will tell you how difficult it was for them to land a job after graduation, especially in a country as unique as Nigeria. Now, you had other struggles because this part looks amazing. This storyline looks beautiful. You tap your uncle by the feet, he helped you, pam, 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 everything fell in place. But there are other parts of your story that may not have added up as quickly as you thought they should add up to. And
Yeah.
one of it, I do understand. I know a bit of it. Um, for someone like me, it's a lot of things had added up for me quickly, and a whole lot, maybe not a whole lot, a couple more had to go through the process of time. One thing that may come very quickly for me is honestly having kids. It's almost something I could have done with, I could do for a living if it was something you could do for a living. How has the journey been? Marriage, family, kids, all of that.
Okay. Um, you'll spare me a little time so that I will explain in details
Enjoy
how
the ride.
the
Enjoy
journey
it.
of marriage started.
Yeah, go ahead.
2011, married, the fanfare, the party, the excitement, the expectations that come with marriage
Yeah,
was, all encompassed in the dreams that we had after marriage.
yeah.
And it was so interesting, fun, and of course, that the earnest expectation of every man and woman who has been united is that the next stage is for them to begin to
The
have
next nine
kids.
months, the next 9 months must
And
count. Yeah.
yeah, yes. And that was it. The first month, second month, the third month, the fourth month, nothing was forthcoming.
Wow.
Nothing, and I mean nothing was
Nothing.
forthcoming. It was like, what is happening? For me personally, um, I wasn't. I was bothered, but I wasn't really bothered. One, because I had God. I knew what God said in His words, and I believed, in His word that definitely,
Yeah.
you know, we were
Yeah.
going to have children. But
I
women will
know.
always men
I know. I know.
began bother, began to, what is happening? Why am I not taking in and all that? And so we decided, okay. let's go the medical way. Let's see the doctor. And so she ran series of tests, and of course, definitely they will definitely come up with something. They came up with hormonal imbalance. They said, I can't even remember some of those names.
Yeah, of
They said
course.
um, not lactating, she was not ovulating, she was not doing this, she was not doing that. And then we started,
Mm.
going here and there, trying to, make sure everything is okay. But of course, you know that every of this process comes with a cost,
Oh
a
yeah,
monetary,
of
which
course.
was high. You understand?
Yeah.
Fertility treatment is something that is very, very expensive.
Mm.
And so we started off.
Mm.
Surprisingly, 3 years after, she became pregnant.
Three
We had,
years.
yes, three
Hold
years
on.
after,
3 years.
yes, 3 solid years.
Oh my
Solid.
God. How were you guys balancing it? What was her state of mind? What was your state of mind? Don't tell me it was all good. 3 years, Andrew.
To be
What was your
sincere,
state?
listen, let me tell you the truth. To be sincere, if I was bothered, maybe 20%,
Okay, that's good.
but she was 100 plus.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. Yeah, because again, the cultural expectation is that she has to have a baby, and then the cultural expectation is that the problem is always hers, not yours. And we don't want to talk about who has a problem or not, but that is a call. So she begins to see herself as a failure, even when she hasn't failed.
Yeah.
So she would have needed your
And
support.
yes, of course. Funny enough, she had my 1,000,001 support,
I know you.
and my family too. I come from a family that they take things easy. They don't
Yeah,
rush.
yeah.
I have my family is they don't disturb. Let me use that word. 3 years running, we had our first child, our first baby.
Wow.
Glory of God.
Wow.
And we were expecting that after that, okay, since the door has been opened,
Yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah.
smoothly, no. Surprisingly, Lucy, everything shut down again. This time around, first year, second year, third year,
Oh God.
fourth year, fifth year,
Oh,
sixth year,
oh,
seventh, eighth year,
oh,
8 years.
oh, oh, oh.
Now, in these 8 years, it was something that if I start explaining, I will
Yeah.
take out, I'll break them down. She took in once after the first child, she had a miscarriage, and after that, that was it. She never took in again,
Wow.
again, and we
Wow.
began the process all over again.
Again.
She had during this period, she had some surgeries.
Oh no. Yeah.
Had surgeries. We had some IVF issues. We,
Yeah.
through a lot. In fact, at a point, they told me that I had low sperm count. I just laughed it out. I
You
said,
laughed it out because oh jeez.
really, I just laughed it. I told my wife, I said, this is happening. As far as I'm concerned, what they are saying is rubbish. You
Yeah.
understand? And I will not go back to that hospital
Again.
anymore. I have a daughter standing there. They're telling me I have low sperm count. From where? At the period she went through about I think 3 surgeries at a go. They will tell you this, tell you that, move us from one particular hospital to another. They will transfer. Do you know that at the point I told her, look, I think enough is enough. Let
Yeah.
us just unto God. You understand? The
Yeah.
truth remains that I believe that we serve a God of again and again. He has given
Sure.
us one. Believe that
He's
He will
able
give
to.
do it again. So let's relax. Interestingly, she took in we didn't know.
Oh God.
She took in we didn't know. She just came to me and said she's feeling somehow. Okay, the hospital she used to go and run tests, it's more or less like they began to mock her. Madam, every time you they come here, that's also negative, negative, negative. And she came to tell me, I said, okay, forget about it. You know, women sometimes you get emotional. I said, okay, there are other places to
No,
go.
it's not. It's
No,
not a
it's
woman's
not.
thing,
It's not
Andrew.
a woman's thing.
I mean, it's a human's
I mean, it's a
thing.
human's thing.
I mean, she should be
I mean, she should
emotional.
be emotional. So I told her to change the hospital and go somewhere else, which she did.
Yeah.
And when it happened, she just said she was feeling somehow. I said, okay, why don't you go? She said, no, I don't want to run another test. Let me just do it. She ran it with a strip at home. She came to show me and said, see what I saw. I said, what is it? I'm this person that is carefree. Even if something is bothering me, I always wear a smile. So that's the way I do my thing. And she showed it to me. I said, what is it? She said, see. I said, I saw you're going to run it in the hospital. She said, no. Let her give it another 2 weeks. And she gave it another 2 weeks. She did it. Same result. I now took her to the hospital. Now the hospital confirmed. Lucy, the very day they confirmed, after like a week, my wife was admitted in the hospital. She stayed in the hospital for almost 4 months.
Why?
Why? In fact, I at that point, I'd never seen myself break down, but I broke down at that point. She was in the hospital for she couldn't eat. She was not taking in anything. All they were giving to her were drips and anesthetics. She was almost passing out. I was watching my wife, and the only thing I was praying is, God, please, this woman must be alive. You understand? And after about 4 months, she began to gain back herself, and she began to sip. You know, when you sip and it stays, everybody, in fact, the hospital was alarmed. She took, I think she took a bottle of malt and it stayed. She didn't, bring it out. And after about some days, the doctor said, we need to, we need to confirm the well-being of this baby. At that point, listen, my my mind almost failed me. If the doctor is saying, let's confirm the well-being of this baby, what will be the outcome? But underneath that was a strong voice telling me that this child is a miracle, and whatsoever God has started, He will definitely perfect it. And so we went. We went into the lab. I couldn't even go into the lab. I told them I would stay outside. The doctor had to go into the lab with my wife and the lab tech. As soon as they put that there, the heartbeat of the baby was, in fact,
Strong.
strong. As strong as. So the doctor came out and said, Mr. David, I said, sir, he said, everything is okay. Your wife can go. I said, go where? I said, this woman cannot leave this place like this. I need her to still stay in the hospital to, put herself together. And after about 4 months, she was discharged and came home. She was on bed rest. And that was how we began to manage her, manage her until finally the beautiful baby girl arrived. God blessed us with a beautiful
Ooh.
baby girl, Samantha. you know, on the 10th of December. That
Yeah,
was
I remember that.
2020. I remember that. Yes, I told you about it. It was, but the truth of the matter is that it was 8 years of, ah, words failed me to describe it. But I just want to summarize it by saying that it was just God all through that 8 years. It came with so many challenges, so many side thoughts, so many issues that came up. But beneath it is our strong belief in God, that God who did the first one will definitely do another one. You understand? And
I
that
do.
was our strong belief, and God made it happen. So sometimes, you know, life, everything about life might not be rosy. Let me use that word.
Mm-hmm.
All aspects of your life cannot be rosy at the same time. There are some that will be going sitting where, sitting where, and there are some that will just, you know, come up with some challenge. But I know that no matter the rage, no matter the storm, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel as long as we endure and have faith in God that He is able to see us through. So that is my belief in life. And that is how, God has really, really helped us. So in marriage, maybe if, let me just say, in other parts, it might be rosy, but when it has to childbirth, eh, I realized one thing. It is not how good you are in bed. No, it is not your skill. It is not your expertise. But of the truth, it is God that giveth children. It is God that giveth what? Children. Let me pause here. Okay, so that's listen, that's the brief story.
Honestly, the story
Honestly,
just,
the story is.
I don't know why I'm having
I
an
don't know why I'm
echo,
having an echo.
but we'll just
But we'll
continue.
just continue.
The story
The
is
story
so
is
humbling,
so humbling,
and I know there are
and I know
people
there are
who are
people
going
who
through
are
what
going
you have
through
been
what you
through.
have been through.
I hope that
I
this
hope that
can
this can
strengthen them.
strengthen them.
Do you think
Do you
that your
think that your
position
position
in the life
in
of
the
your
life of
wife
your wife
helped you?
helped?
Because
Because
sometimes I'm glad
sometimes
you and I are
I'm
having
glad
this
you and I are
conversation
having
and
this
not
conversation
far.
and not far,
Because sometimes the
because
men
sometimes the
exonerate
men
themselves.
exonerate themselves.
They make the
They
problem,
make the
the
problem,
situation look
the
like it's a
situation
problem of
like
the
is a
woman.
problem of the woman.
And thank God
Thank God
you have
you
a
have
very
a
understanding
very
parent.
understanding
I know
parent.
your parents,
I
if they had
know
done
your
otherwise, I would have
parents, if they
wondered,
have done otherwise, I would have wondered, I mean,
where is that coming from?
where is that coming from?
But there are other
But there are
in-laws
other
who
in-laws
will act
who will act
otherwise.
otherwise.
Mount pressure,
Not
and in eight
pressure,
years, you
and in
probably
eight
would have
years,
had
you probably would have had
children outside or
children
otherwise
outside or
again.
otherwise. Okay.
Now, thank God, we don't
Now,
know
thank
who
God,
the
we don't
problem
know
is
who
with.
the problem
Whether
is
it's
with.
you or your wife is
Whether it's
irrelevant
you or your
because
wife is
without
irrelevant
anything,
because without anything,
she had her baby.
she had a baby.
Where do you think men
Where
should
do you
come in
think
all of
men
this?
should come in all of this? All right, let me put it this way. The very day you step into matrimony, two has become one. And before you step into matrimony, you should have an understanding that the man is a shield to the woman.
Ooh, yeah.
The man is a protector of both his wife, his kids, and his family. And so,
Agree.
whatever it is that is happening to your wife is happening to you. And for every man, a man should also learn to be ahead of the wife in terms of maturity, in terms of everything, because you are the head of the home. You should be ahead of the
I'm
woman,
coming.
so
I'm
that
coming. I'm coming. I need us to address this. I know what you are saying. The man should assume responsibility. But
yeah,
when we leave this unchecked, somebody will go and violate the wife, abuse the wife, and saying he has to be ahead. We need to address that small part of it. Because you are saying that a man should be responsible and cover the wife protectively with love. But somebody else will take this and run with it negatively, saying that you shouldn't earn more than me, stop working, bring all your money, kneel down and give to me, which that is not what you're saying.
no, let me
I
come
know
in.
your wife is a lawyer.
Yeah. So let me come in. If my I mind my words. Part of what I told you is that a man that is responsible, a
Good.
man that is responsible is a protector of his wife, is a shield to his wife and his children. Now,
Agreed.
every responsible man knows what it takes to be responsible. Violence is not responsible.
At all.
It doesn't make you responsible. Now, treating your wife in a way that is not supposed to be does not make you responsible. So, in the context of our discussion, that is what I am talking about. Those ones are irresponsibilities as far as I'm concerned. Any act of you trying to prove your rights is an act of irresponsibility. So I don't want to dive into that. I'm
Great.
talking
I
about the
just let
context
us clear that gray area.
no. What is responsibility? Responsible. There's no responsible man that will beat his wife. There's no responsible man that will violate his wife. A responsible man will protect his wife. A responsible man will shield the wife. A responsible man will shield his family and shield his children.
Agreed.
So it goes. So in the context of our discussion, those other things are irresponsible. As far as I'm concerned, they are all part of irresponsibility. So it's not part of our discussion
No,
here.
it's not.
You get what I'm saying?
It's not.
So when back to our discussion, so it helped, to shield her from any distractions, any of those issues that came up during that period. And of course, thank God, my family. Um, from my family, there was no problem. Maybe from outsiders. And I always have what to tell her to make her, calm down. You get what I'm saying? To make her see, trivialize it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Trivialize
Even though
it.
your heart was
Don't make
failing you.
Yeah. Don't make it look too serious. You understand?
Yeah.
And it really helped to guide her. Whenever she comes in to say, maybe this is the situation on man, I would say no.
Hmm.
I'll always have something to tell her. And in that kind of situation, you must know how to communicate it to her gently, in love, and sometimes humorously, and create laughter out of the situation. And everything will just, mellow down and we keep going. So you need to understand, your responsibility as a man going through that period. It will help a lot to protect your wife, yourself, and whoever that needs to be protected.
Honestly, I can't begin to imagine the things you've been through. We all go through things in life. So it's common to all that we go through things. It's just that we go through different things. I respect your person. You have always been the same person that you are. What will you tell women that are going through this situation? You've spoken to men, but you were there with your wife and you understand what she went through. There are women going through this, and some of them are renting, their heart is broken. Some of them have given up on themselves. And IVF, the process is pretty painful. What would you tell women?
Sincerely, Lucy, it's I must be sincere. We are all human. it's a situation that we can, as humans, we can only advise and encourage. The best person to console is God. How do you explain to a woman who sees all her friends have children and she doesn't have one? How do you explain to a woman who peradventure all through her journey before marriage didn't have the escapades, and in quotes, let me use that word.
Yeah.
Yeah.
She
Decent,
kept herself.
she kept herself. Caring, kept herself. And stepping into marriage, she doesn't have kids, she doesn't have children. And somebody who she knows has had all the escapades, you know, did all the doables, negatively and positively, entered and wow, 1, 2, 3, 4. In fact, they're even begging to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you console that person?
I don't know.
So, like I said, we as humans will only encourage, but the best person to console is God. So, any woman that is in that kind of situation, I plead that they should have their consolation in God. That is where their peace lies. Because going through that situation, humans don't have peace for you. Yeah, that's the truth. They don't have peace for you. They only have backbiting for you. It is God. You know, I think a part of the Holy Book said that we have a great high priest who is touched by the feelings of our heart, who is touched by the feelings of our infirmity. So it is him that knows what we feel. It is him that knows what we are going through. And it is him who will console us. Not the way man will, but he has a special way of doing it because he is the one that created us. You get what I'm saying? So I'm speaking humanly. I'm just telling you the truth that the console is not in man, it's not in anybody but in God. So any woman that is going through it, let her find her console in God. You understand? Because that is the only person that can actually give her the consolation that she actually wants.
I'll ask you this
I'll ask
question,
you this
and
question,
at that
and
point we'll begin
at
to
that
wrap
point we'll
up.
begin to wrap up.
Honestly, I don't know why I'm
Honestly, I
having
don't
an
know why I'm having
echo.
an
I am
echo. I
sorry,
am
nothing has
sorry,
changed, but
nothing has
there's an
changed, but
echo.
there's
Can
an
you
echo.
can you hear the echo?
Can you hear the echo? Let's go ahead. The echo is not. It's not.
Okay,
It's
great.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
I'm
you.
very supportive.
I'm very supportive.
If
If
Samantha didn't come
Samantha didn't
yet,
come,
thank God
yes,
she's here.
thank God she's here. Yeah.
If Samantha didn't
If
come
Samantha didn't come
15 years
15 years
down the road
down the
of
road
waiting, would
of
you have still
waiting, will
tried?
you have still tried?
At what point
At what point
should we just leave
we
it?
just leave it?
Because sometimes
Because
I've
sometimes
seen people
I
try,
see people
especially
try,
people who have
especially
the
people who have
means.
the means.
They try and
They
try, and
try
the
and
body is
try, and the body
breaking,
is
the
breaking,
hormones are
the
being
bonds are
stretched.
being stretched.
At what point do we
At
just
what
let
point
go?
do
Do
we
we
just
just
let go? We
go
just
searching for
go
kids
searching for kids
until we break down?
until we break down.
Can we look at other
We look at other
alternatives?
alternatives,
Adoption,
adoption,
surrogacy. I
surrogacy.
know surrogacy is
I
not
know
very
surrogacy is not
prominent
very prominent
in Africa, but
in
we're
Africa,
talking
but we're
globally.
talking
At what
globally.
point do
At what
people get
point
to and
people
say,
get to
look,
and they look,
I've had enough.
I've had enough.
I can try other
I can try
options,
other
or
options, or
I rest.
I
Whenever
rest
God
whenever God
would give
would
me,
give
He
me.
will do it. I mean, He
He
did
will
it for
do
you,
it. I mean, He
regardless
did
of
it
all
for
the
you,
IVF.
regardless of all the
You just
ideas.
skipped, right?
Just,
So it
just
wasn't the
keep
glory
right.
of the
It
IVF.
wasn't the glory of the
At what
idea.
point
At what point
would you have
would
still?
you
Well,
have
you can't
still?
answer this any better because you already have
Because
Samantha.
you already have Samantha.
But
But
trying to think through it,
trying to
would you
think
have
through it,
allowed your
would
wife
you
go
have
through
allowed your wife
IVF
to go
if
through
Samantha
IVF
hadn't
if
come
Samantha
7 years
hadn't
from
come
now?
7 years from? I think you should also remember one fact that Sheila had already come.
Yeah,
Are you getting me?
I know.
Sheila was already on ground.
Okay,
And
maybe
so,
the question should be, maybe not you. For those who don't even have any at home, Sheila was there, so she was some shield. For those who don't have, they've tried 20 years, 25 years. They're not getting any younger. They keep trying, or at some point, you leave it to God. When He will do it, He will do it. And if He doesn't do it,
Lucy, I want to be as plain and as simple and as direct, like somebody that have gone through it
yes,
and
please.
come out of it. The truth of the matter is, it's a personal decision
Mhm.
to take. And when I mean personal decision, is the decision between the man and the woman, not forgetting the fact that they are now one. So it is the decision of both parties to take. Like I said, before you go into marriage, you must be mature. And maturity is not a function of age. You
No.
must be mature to handle some things that marriage or life itself throws at you. Growing up very early in my life, I discovered that maturity is not a function of age. Maturity is the function of the development of your mind, how your mind have developed over time. And that is what brings out the maturity inside of you. I belong to an organization where I had men that are 60, 70, and they call me sir. If I was not matured enough, I won't be able to handle that. It will get into my head.
Yeah.
You understand? But respect begets respect. Sir begets sir. That is the principle of life. Knowing fully well that you are their boss, but age-wise, you people are not the same. So sir begets sir. You know?
Yeah.
So and we flow like that. So back to what we're saying, it's a personal decision between the husband and the wife. An interesting story. I wouldn't want to mention the name because it's the story of a pastor who got married to a particular lady. I think the lady passed on 2, 3 years ago, you know, and all through their marital life. The pastor, I think, got married first one, no kids. The second one, no kids. They adopted, eventually adopted, I think 2 or 3 children, and they are happily married up now. The pastor was 60, I think last year. He was 60 last year, celebrated his 60th birthday last year. But he's happy with the 3 adopted children that he has. So, like I said, it's a personal decision. Here in Africa, it's a decision that is hard to take. You guys that are uptown, you know that those are decisions that can easily be taken. You know, the two parties can just take the decision. But here, it's pretty difficult to take. So it's for the both parties to take the decision. You see sometimes here in Africa, before you know it, the marriage is over, or the man has kids outside. A lot of things begin to happen. But like I said, it's a decision that both parties will have to take. One, two, marriage as a man who heads that institution, you have to be mature with whatever life throws at you. You must be ready to take it and find a solution to it. Because sometimes, like I said in the beginning, it's not always rosy. Sometimes it
Oof.
comes with
Yeah,
own challenges.
I think it's what life is generally. The ability to balance the ups and the downs, the sweet and the sour is what makes us a complete person. Sometimes people make it look
Sometimes
as
people
if
make it look
life
as
is just
if life
unfair
is
to
just
them.
unfair
I
to
have a
them.
few people in
I
my
have a few
life.
people in my
I
life.
know what they are
I
going through,
know
but
what
they
they
are
are going through, but
upbeat.
they are
Upbeat. When
upbeat.
people
When
communicating, it's
people
like, oh,
are
I'm good.
communicating,
This is
it's like,
happening,
oh,
but
I'm
I'm
good.
fine.
This is happening,
That
but
is
I'm
happening, but
fine.
all is
That
well.
is happening, but all is
They bring
well.
this
So they
positivity
bring this
around them,
positivity
even though they
around them,
acknowledge that
even though
certain
they
things are
acknowledge that
happening.
certain things are
But
happening.
there are other people
But
who
there are
makes it
other
look
people
like
who makes it
you
look
see your
like
life is all put
your life
together,
is all put
or
together, or
you have a way of
you have
riding
a way of
above it. And I
riding
said,
above
well,
it.
you don't.
Yes,
He
well,
who wears
you
the
know,
shoes
he who
knows what
wears the shoes knows
preaches.
what preaches.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Exactly.
honestly,
You're
So
right.
honestly,
you want to say
You're
something?
right.
you want to say something?
Yes, I think that's the truth. He that wears the shoes know where it aches.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
this positivity about life is very, very important, and it will help us. I said it at the beginning, and that is
Yeah.
my kind of person. No matter what I go through, I wear a smile. As a man, you go through a lot. I'm this kind of person that stomachs. Thank God I have. Okay, my weight was bigger than this before until I had to crush it. I have a large heart. I stomach a lot of things. You know, as a man, you put in a lot of. It's not even everything you tell your wife. That is just the truth.
Yeah.
You
To
stomach a
shield
lot of
her.
Yeah,
things.
to shield her.
You understand? You stomach it yourself, and wear a smile as if nothing happens. My kids, my wife, I'm this kind of person that if there's something wrong, they easily detect because it will show on my face. And so by virtue of that, you wouldn't want your daughter, who is always looking out for the dad, come and say, Daddy, what is happening? And especially my daughter is like, Daddy, you're not smiling today, is everything okay? Of course, the smile will have to come back by force. No matter what it is, just have this positivity about life that, you know, everything is going to work out well. Everything, no matter what the situation is, everything is going to work out well. In life, we should learn to have that positivity. People might want to say, oh, what's it on feeling? But the truth of the matter, as long as God has not said, what's it on, it
It's
can
not
never.
over
It's not
until it's
over until
over.
it's over.
Yeah.
Right there. It's not over
Yeah.
until it is
Well, I
over.
think this
Well,
is
I
a
think this
beautiful
is a
place to call
beautiful
it a
place to
wrap.
call it a wrap.
It's such a
It's
beautiful
such a beautiful
conversation. It's
conversation.
not
It's not
over until
over
it's over.
until it's
So,
over. So,
and only you and
only
I
you and
can
I
determine
can
when it is
determine when
over
it's over.
regarding a thing.
Having a thing.
I love
I
that
love that
answer.
answer.
It's only the couple
It's
that
only
can
the couple
say,
that can say,
look, we've had
"Look,
enough.
we've had enough."
And the example
And
you
the
gave
example
of
you
the
gave
other
of
man
the
who
other man
adopted
who
three
adopted
kids,
3 kids,
he's doing
he's
well,
doing well.
he's happy,
He's happy.
he's
Yeah.
been a
He's been
parent
a
to
parent to
children. Whether or not
children.
he's
Whether
their
or not he's
biological
their
parent,
biological
it's
parent
now
is now
irrelevant.
relevant.
I want to say
I
thank
want
you,
to say
Andrew.
thank you, Andrew.
It's
Yeah.
been a beautiful
It's been a beautiful
conversation.
conversation.
I don't know why I'm
I
having
don't
this
know why I'm having
echo,
this
but
info,
you said I
but
shouldn't
you said
bother.
I shouldn't bother.
No,
So I'm
no, you
trying not to
shouldn't bother
bother.
at all.
I'm trying to take it
I'm
in.
trying to take it in.
No. It's a beautiful conversation. Echo cannot stop it.
I
So
agree.
I
why
agree.
not? But I'm glad I had the opportunity to be on your platform and
Yeah.
share my
Yeah.
story and also encourage people who are going through the same situation. My advice is they should hang on. Pretty soon, all will be well. And our slogan for tonight, it is not over until
Until
it
it's
is
Until
over.
it's over.
That is a good
That is
slogan.
a
And
good
then
slogan.
from
And then
Family
from
Unboxed to
Family
you and
Unboxed
your
to you and
family,
your family,
we have
we have
Sheila,
Sheila,
we
Yeah.
have Samantha.
Samantha.
We're
Yeah.
looking forward to
We're
Samson.
looking forward to something.
That is if I've not closed the chapter.
I don't know about
I
that.
don't know about that.
Thank you,
Ah,
Andrew. When Samson
When
comes, you
something
will come
comes,
around
you will
again.
come around again.
Honestly, I
Honestly,
feel so
I feel
honored.
so honored.
People like
People
you,
like you.
you know all of us,
You know
right?
all
A
of
few
us,
of
right?
us.
A few of us.
People like you,
People like you,
you
you
just
just
make me know that, I mean, we're growing, and it feels good to know that there are people in your life way back when you were small, you didn't know anything. You can just call people across. I can be naked and not ashamed with people like you because we have a root. We know where we're coming from. We share details, and you're sure that nobody's going to mock you because there's no facade. We're open. It's such a privilege, and I am grateful. Thank you for coming around.
Thank you for having me, Lucy.
Bye,
I
Andrew.
really appreciate the opportunity.
Wow, that's a very pleasant conversation with Andrew David, my friend. We've been together since high school, and it's been a very beautiful journey. I don't know where you are at in your journey. Ironically, it's not echoing. Ooh, could the problem have been from Andrews? Honestly, I don't know. But what I like to say is, I don't know where you are at in your journey. We're all going through things. This life will come with a lot of expectations and a lot of things. To some of us, it happens to us just the way we've dreamed and aspired. To some of us, it takes time. I've been through some journeys, and people who know me were like, Lucy, no, it is not you. I know you. This shouldn't happen to you. I know your personality. I know your energy. What happened? I've been through some things where people say, how did you miss it? I mean, how did you should have known that person. That person cannot handle your person. We've been through a lot of things. I really don't know where you are at. But like Andrew said, and that is a slogan with which I'm going to end this, it is not over until it's over. I can hardly talk. Look, I've been under the weather for some days. I don't know what is happening. I hardly fall ill. I hardly go through symptoms of any sort. But I'm going through this, and we've planned this discussion before time. I don't want to cancel it, so I'm showing up anyways. I'm actually breathing practically from my mouth. In the course of the discussion, I could hardly close my mouth because I needed to breathe. We're family, and the beauty of it is that we can come out here, be open, and support ourselves. If there's anything short of that, then we have lost the purpose. Wherever you are in your journey, don't give up until you know you've done all and it's time to move on. And if you're going through an IVF process, please support yourselves. If you're waiting for the fruit of the womb, just support yourselves. And if you've decided to go and adopt, it's good. Children are a gift from God. Take that child and be a parent to the child. If you want to try surrogacy, that's another option. If you can afford it, by all means. Whatever it's the platform that you want to try to have your own children, it's okay. Let whoever wants to judge, judge. I'm not judging you, and trust me, the universe is not judging you. It's your girl Lucy, and I feel so blessed and so happy coming to you with this conversation. Please like, share, subscribe on this channel because we'll be as real as we can, down to earth as possible. We will be naked and not ashamed because that is what is expected. Then we can help ourselves and grow. I love you. I'll come your way again. Stay blessed.